Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LEC Spring 2025.
Yeah, I think the problem for BDS right now is they have no idea where Stend is. 113 was hovering bot because he wasn't sure if there was going to be a dive onto Irrelevant, but now still they haven't really spotted where he is. I think actually Paris might have just seen him. So BDS knows that this is going down, but aren't really in the position to trade on the opposite side.
BDS are bringing all 5 members across here. Weaver's wall coming out as well. Flacker's on the wrong side of that wall, and he's going to be abandoned by his team. A Drake for a kill on Flacker. BDS get first blood, but Heretics do secure the neutral.
And now they're going to be able to push him in and move across for those void grubs. So nicely done by BDS. So now they push in bot. They're going to see Varus answer. Probably going to look for maybe a second push here and then reset, so then they can avoid it. And all they're doing is keeping the CS even. And realistically, that's all they really want to do. And it's Carlson who's been struggling as a result and may even struggle now.
Execution going down. Irrelevant looking for that needlework. Dashes forward. He's definitely struggling. Snip, snip. Irrelevant on the board again. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Sten pulled in. And it's Paris who secures the kill for BDS, 3-0.
Yeah, it's kind of gone disastrously in the last couple of seconds for Heretics. You lose that play on top, you already were behind on CS. It's a 1.2k gold lead for Irrelevant. And now on the bottom side as well.
And Shook back.
I am shook at either way. And,
understandable. 113 looking for Sheo and Stend. Will force them out again. Can take away this control ward. 113 still stepping forward. Magnus Storm onto Flacken. Remember, this man has no flash and he hasn't got a hope in hell of surviving. BDS get their 4th on the board.
Well played by BDS. So Heretics try to brute force the 3-man in mid to get mid priority. And
it's
then
available to Heretics though, so they'll get their 2nd on the board, at least delaying BDS. You know, BDS didn't get 4 grubs, so no mites are going to spawn. Didn't get any of the first 2 Drakes, so Heretics will get that portion of the feats, but not going to complete it yet.
Their own place as well on side lanes. Like, it's been a really strong early game from BDS, and this is kind of what we've almost come to expect with BDS. Even though they may not be sitting top of the table, the early games have been spectacular. It's just getting to this point now and how they push these leads forward. Sheo trying to cover for a dive with 113 though.
113 looking for Carlson here. We'll get him back. The edge of Ishtal pulls him out with the Impale as well. Glacial Prison dodged with the Hallowed Mist. Sheo, though, can't avoid the needleworks. Pulled back with the Magnus Storm, and now Irrelevant's continuing the dive. Sten's on his way across. Irrelevant will look for this tower, and that should be first tower blood over to BDS. They get the kill, they get the tower. Try and defend. Try and push towards this bot lane tier 1.
BDS are bringing Irrelevant to the party though. They really want to make sure that they're able to deny a 3rd dragon and try and set themselves up for a little bit more of objective control, because I think that's the one thing that has been lacking for them, is actually getting these objectives for themselves. It's 2 dragons and 4 grubs to Heretics, but now they have the control. It looks like Carlson going to start pushing out topside, so someone will need to go up and catch that wave relatively soon, but at least you're getting that control of the bottom side that BDS needed.
Both Nuke and Irrelevant have teleport, so if they want, they can just teleport one of them up towards that top side. You can see Irrelevant shadowing Nuke. Irrelevant's actually going to be given the local gold as Glacial Prison goes down onto Paris. There's the Chain of Corruption follow-up, and a quick kill from Heretics as they find their 1st of the game.
Yeah, so nicely done by Sheo there to get in. You kind of had that control from BDS, but
like the numbers advantage down towards this bottom side, Heretics are gonna accept their losses and just take a Rift Herald of their own. Nuke's coming across there with that teleport. Ice pulled back. Weaver's wall towards Stend as well. They look for Flacker burst. Seismic shoves him back and immediately shoves him off this mortal coil. 113 came in from the side as well, but BDS won't chase Stend any further. Instead, they will take the 3rd tower of the game.
Sheo is getting the Rift Herald though this entire time. May just, yeah, he's going to have to pull off. Doesn't quite have the damage to finish it off. So BDS, they get the pick, they get the tower, and now should get the Rift Herald as well. This, if they can continue this pressure, might be able to control the Dragonair as well, because Irrelevant, no one can touch him in a side lane. This guy's incredibly strong. Oh, Sheo
goes forward, dodges away from the seismic shove. 113 is going to slam him into the wall though, and the chase continues. Impale is available, but the BDS really want to chase this any further. The answer is a resounding no. Drake, their next objective, still didn't get the Rift Herald. It feels like a couple of times they're like, okay, we'll do this neutral. And then they're like, actually, no, we'll fight. Oh, we didn't do the neutral, and now Heretics are back out on the map.
And now, so Harris's reset got interrupted. Yeah. That's the 2nd time. Ice did get the reset off, but now Heretics have to come in with 0 vision on their support and try and contest this, and they establish no vision here, plus Irrelevance in base.
He's not there yet. Glacial Prison hitting onto Paris there. 113's already used the Impale, and Heretics are very healthy. 113 slain where he stands. Paris has to flash away. Public execution going into Ice as well as Camilo chases him out. Irrelevant on the back line, but he's going to be on his lonesome in just a second. Camilo could look to dash back in here. forces BDS away. Heretics get out with 5 members alive. And they killed out the enemy jungler. This could be a Drake into Articar.
Yeah, but there you can see the lack of confidence we talked about from BDS coming into play. They don't really decide on if we're going to fight Sheo, if we're going to take the Rift Herald, are we taking resets? Everyone is making a different decision. They lose the fight, they lose the dragon, they won't lose
HP right now. Camilo clearing out a bit of vision. Paris there on the front line. It's down to probably about 4,000 or so,
yeah.
5.5. BDS don't quite have the damage without Irrelevant here. And Heretics will happily take up the mantle of tanking the Articar for now. No TP on Irrelevant as well as he's worked his way through that mid lane. He's on his way across Glacial Prison into the hostile takeover. Sheo gets the smite and now the false life on all 5 as Carlson dives the back line. Paris falls as he dives in. Ice doing a lot of work here though. And that's all of the false lives gone already. Carlson flashing across, trying to kill off Nuke. Can't quite get the damage in, nor can he take down Ice.
So Heretics do get the steal, but every single one of them will be sent packing every way they can off of these inner turrets.
Yeah, but all we're really waiting for now is that number in the top right corner, mirrored almost exactly by the number in the top left corner. About a 10-second difference between the Baron and the Soul spawn here. Obviously, BDS are yet to pick up a Drake so far. Irrelevant starting to harass Carlson down. Public execution going in, though. Look at the damage from the Needleworks. So with Paris on his way, the Ignite ticking won't be enough. Carlson expediates and gets the Shield Weaver's wall coming out from Nuke. Camilo will dodge to the other side of it. He did TP behind, but couldn't find any action.
Yeah, BDS using a hell of a lot of tools now to try and force this play on the bottom side. They need to get something to work here because 45 seconds until that dragon. Oh, 113!
113 jumping in, but the hostile takeover. He's met his maker. Heretics able to pick up a kill. 113 going way too greedy.
BDS, it was a sunk cost fallacy. At this stage, you just needed to back it on up. So I was about to say, I think BDS are in a decent spot. Like, oh, do you get caught here? Sheo? No. Oh, a little late on this buzz.
A calculator. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
But the thing is, so Irrelevant was winning out so hard in the 1v1 that at any point in time, Irrelevant could push in bot and move to Dragon and solo Dragon. You can test everything.
Really nice tempo bait here, but then the Glacial Prism goes down. Irrelevant able to dodge away from it. Redemption onto Sheo will heal him back up to about half HP. 113 still 7 seconds away from spawning. Irrelevant's needlework is 2 seconds away.
Camilo still has the ultimate though. He could be. Oh no, he's caught!
Magnus Storm immediately. Sten gets one. Irrelevant gets the other. And now the Drake is secured by Heretics, but BDS will want their lives for it. Sheo trying to back in the bush. Irrelevant dashes across the wall and Sheo will fall as well. It will be 5 for none in a 4v5, but the soul goes to Heretics.
This game is getting a little chaotic, but holy moly, that flick from Nuke was clean.
Fight. Irrelevant doesn't have that teleport at his disposal. Carlson and Sheo are looking for him. Glacial Prison immediately. They jump onto Irrelevant and they shut him down. That's how you punish a 1-3-1. Find one of the side laners and lie in wait.
Yeah, the Ice hadn't pushed in mid lane. Oh, Sheo's got him again.
Ice caught with the smite.
No, he's just going to be able to back away. But I think nicely done. Ice hadn't pushed in mid. It does mean though with Irrelevant now pushing in the bottom side, you've still got all ultimates available on BDS. And they, well,
Weaver's wall.
Sends that one.
Flacker doesn't have flash, has got to use the cleanse, trying to get away. Redemption will save his life. The Impale only onto Stend. That is a kill over to BDS, and now they're knocking on the doors of these inhibitors. You can see Irrelevant just shredding through the inhibitor tower and the inhibitor. Mid lane inhib and its tower will be forfeit as well. The base now in tatters over a single pick, really, onto Flacker. The follow-up onto Stend, costing him his life. You can see the damage coming out as well from Nuke and Ice with those missiles and that threaded volley.
Yeah, a couple of these picks onto Flacket have been crucial in this game. Yes, caught out this dragon spawns, but now they're not in the best spots.
Sheo, good feet. Managed to dodge and his dancing shoes on. Camilo comes back with the Void Staff completed. Flacket does have the wit's end here as well. Carlson catching midwave, has teleport to join in a fight if it does begin.
Yeah, but you've got so many angles of attack here for BDS. They're going
double impale into the Weaver's wall. Redemption coming out. Sten with a hostile takeover as well, but Flacket's already so low. He's trying to put the damage down before he falls onto Paris. He'll get it into the bear now. He's respawning. Camilo gets the shuffle back onto Irrelevant, but Irrelevant still on top of him. Irrelevant will fall now 2 for 3. In the exchange, Camilo and Carlson, though, Both have the Ocean Soul, both healthy enough to continue to push back. Nuke with a seismic shove onto Carlson, doesn't quite get him onto that unraveled earth, and Camilo continues to put those soldiers in. Flash into the Ishtal's impact. Carlson finds another. It's all on Camilo, but he can't do much. Nuke with the flash forward to get his first kill of the game.
It was so close to going the way of Heretics, but BDS barely able to bring it out on the other side.
The members of BDS, they are deadly members. 9 kills between the two of them. Nuke and Ice, the ones with that Elder Dragon buff.
Look,
and the support in that case, you're feeling really happy, but otherwise doesn't really matter much. Inhibitors up in 30 seconds time in both mid and bot, but BDS will put their eyes.
The slow chip is happening.
It's already down to half HP. 113 flashes forward into the Magnus Storm. There's the follow-up you're looking for. Paris gets one, almost falls himself, but is able to survive.
And the double to 4 kill! Double to that Elder Dragon doing work, baby!
I was going to not say it because I thought it was a little bit spurious in the moment, but you're right. Irrelevant's going to be the one pushing through mid. Well, 3.5, almost 4 items on both Camilo and Flakked, and BDS don't have that Elder Dragon at their backs anymore. Glacial Prism going down, Sten with a handshake back into the Chain of Corruption, and 113 is CC'd for an absolute Ice Age. Taken out by Heretics, who cling on to life in this game. BDS looking for that tempo play they've done a couple of times before. Wait them out. I wouldn't be surprised if it is, okay guys, we died in the 1-3-1, we died in the 1-4. What about 0-5-0? Yeah, let's just all go towards the mid lane and see if we can win a front to back, because we are strong. You have a 4-item mid laner, you've got Hostile Takeover coming in from across the wall here, and look at the damage coming out from Ice. Public Execute going in from Carlson. Paris doing a good job of distracting the backline, but with the damage coming out, Paris will fall Carlson down as well. Heretics able to take a 1-for-1. This late in the game. Nuke is low, Elder is up.
BDS are going to try and leverage. Someone has to back, and that job is to Camilo. Has the TP to still join in for the rest of the fight, but I mean, it's still 4 items onto this Azir. 23 seconds until Carson's available, so BDS is going to start the objective.
And Paris up in 10. Carlson will have teleport when he respawns. Camilo now seen, TP's in, the inhibitor has respawned, 5,000 on the Elder. It all comes down to this. 113 trying to get him from the side, but immediately he's locked up and he will fall. Shale gets in and steals away the Elder. And from the jaws of defeat, Heretics have found victory. Tell me whatever goddamn god they've been praying to, because the Heretics have found a miracle.
I cannot believe that Heretics are holding on in this game. They refuse to go down. They've now got Elder. Baron is available. And there's still a bloody mid lane tier 1 to try and get through.
40 seconds on Nuke, 30 seconds on 113. Credit to Heretics. Every time 113 looked for a flank position, they have spotted him out. The flash under the bot lane tower, whenever he tried to get it just there, it's so good from them. And now, can they get the Nexus? 20 seconds still on Nuke. 113 coming up in 10. Ice still 20 seconds away as well. It's a 4v2 for now. Redemption coming out. Sten flashing forward, looking for Irrelevant. Will get the Hostile Takeover onto him. Paris jumping in as well. 113 has respawned. Paris falling low. Camilo's going to take him out. 113 misses the Impaler, goes between the uprights, and he'll pay for that with his life. Camilo's looking for a little bit more. They don't really have the wave here. Flakked steps forward and immediately is met with a turret shot to the face. The tank is here. Let's see what the artillery can do. Sheo steps forward, tanks the tower. Glacial Prison immediately onto Irrelevant, who's put into an icy grave. Carlson dashing in as well. And Heretics from 13,000 gold. Seraphine also one of those. Last played it in winter against SK. He's played it a few times across the course of his career, but before winter was back in 23, and then
and actually just skipped around 113. There's no ward, so this is perfect timing from Sheo.
Goes round. Is he yanking first? He is. They jump onto Irrelevant immediately. Flash, stun, Irrelevant down, and 113 late to the party, fashionably so. But unfortunately for him, the party is already over. Sheo's going to keep chasing onto 113 here, with Carlson coming across as well. 113 is going to be forced to flash the wall, does so. Spear shot connects, but without the fully stacked bar show.
It's a bit difficult for 113 to try and seek a bit more after this. like try and go up towards that top side, look for a dive on towards Carlson. You don't have the immediate CC, and Aurora can be a little bit of a nuisance when she gets that ultimate down and she's able to pop around underneath the tower. So I think it will just be a case of get your Void Grubs and then try and reset. So difficult with a potential counter gank at any point in time. Sending Shale sitting around mid, but there's nothing you can really do against Nuke unless he walks into Camilo.
Knocked up. Face Seal coming out as well. Gravity Well down onto Camilo, and Powers will kill him up in the CC chain. Camilo going in, thinking he had the support of his jungler and his support, but they weren't able to get there in time.
Yeah, Stan is trying to hold the wave, but you've got 3 members of BDS here.
Who cares about holding a wave? Apparently, we're just going in. Paris gets the double knockup. 1-1-3 coming in from the side. And Stend is an absolute nightmare. Killed off with the Crescent Guard.
Oh, this is not a pretty look for Sten. The hooks have not been great, and now the flash forward gets him killed.
To the mid lane. Paris working his way up here as well. As Heretics have started up the grubs. Hook from Sten is going to land. 1-1-3 goes in with the Crescent Guard, immediately diving onto Sheo. TP is coming out as Sheo secures his first grub. Paris, though, headbutt pulverize. The depth charge will knock him up. There's the encore follow-up. Sheo trying to walk out of this one, but 1-1-3 is having none of it. He will get the kill. 3-1 now for BDS. Yes, they don't get all 3 grubs, but they get enough to get those mites.
Yeah, 1-1-3, realize 3 question mark. Yeah.
Step 4 profit. Stend, Hex Flash forward. They're looking for the damage onto 1-1-3, but look at the damage he puts down in response. Paris now in the middle of all of Heretics. Sheo almost falling. The equalizer ticking him. Sheo will survive. Turns his eyes back towards Dragon, gets the smite. Paris now taken out by Heretics. Camila going in. It's a flipping wing conductor! I told you! Never doubt the Heretics! They know exactly what they're doing! They find Fall, they find the Drake! Win is conned! I'll retreat for now. But a 1.2k gold lead now for Carlson, who has been involved in every single kill of the game for his team. He's having a good showing overall. Stand flashing forward, Grand Starfall, and Paris is caught unawares. Flacker takes the kill. And as soon as I speak about Carlson being 100% kill participation, he loses that small stat.
Into covering the play, the TP back in, so at least they will cover. But
Hook immediately onto 1-1-3. Nuke is here, 1-1-3 with the Crescent Guard, but Sheo there for the follow-up. Gravity Well coming out, there's the encore. And Camilo wants a little bit more. Dives onto 1-1-3, who can't heal up with the Sunder Sky. Ice coming in from the side as well, but Sheo will flash the wall to get away from the On The Hunt. Heretics again find a pick.
Yeah, find it onto 1-1-3, who was just sitting in the bush.
Oh, he's fine. All calculated, he did the maths. You can see Stend is hungry for another hook. It's like, guys, okay, we can stop a play at some point.
Yeah, Paris was about to Hex Flash over that wall as well. It was about to get hectic, but yeah, Carlson hasn't moved down, so it looks like BDS may just about be able to get this.
Oh, Sheo looking for the spear. Not gonna get it. Okay, BDS secure it. There we go. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Equalizer used to play out the wave. No big shocker there.
Yeah, it's Heretics, like, are kind of, again, moving to cover rather than to initiate plays, and it has worked for them in a couple of situations, but it does mean in this, they didn't really commit towards the Rift Herald, they're not really getting the play on bot side, they're not really getting anything off the plays, and BDS are getting to at least control those topside objectives, and now potential for the Herald in mid.
I think they're trying to rush mid tier 1 because they know they're going to lose top tier 1. For that first tower of the game, but Carlson is looking for the flank instead. Dragon is up as well, as you say. That was a good spot there. I was thinking more of the feats than I was of the Drakes. Camilo on the flank. Carlson's come across. Hook landing from Stend onto 1-1-3. Powers with a good headbutt pulverize. Depth charge coming out though. Crescent Guard from 1-1-3 is doing a lot of work. Flacker with the encore onto the backline, but Carlson can't get into the fight. Nor can Sheo. There's a lot of damage from that high note. Camilo trying to get away from 1-1-3. Flacker there for a little bit of support, but it's Marvel at best. 1-1-3 almost falling. Sheo diving back in. 1-1-3 going for Flacker. The Sundered Sky healing. Not going to be enough to keep him alive. And now BDS don't have a jungler. And Carlson is getting chased out by Nuke. But he can go across the Veil. Equalizer could look to just chunk out Heretics here to stop them from being able to do this, Drake. But remember, they don't have a jungler to BDS. He's only up just now. There's the Equalizer onto Flacken and Carlson. Sheo could continue to tank this for a little while, but the Electro Harpoons are doing quite a lot of work. Flash away from the hook by Irrelevant. Ice now in the middle of the fray. Carlson trying to dodge away. Flacken has to flash. Sheo instead on the wrong side of the wall. Nuke still chasing him in with that Arcane Storm. Headbutt Pulverize combination on 2. Sheo dives back back in for a bit of CC, but he's shut down. Flacken falls low as well, and will be taken out by Nuke. Camilo jumping across the wall. 113 now here for the party. Carlson forced away, does have the TP if he wants to rejoin the battle. Camilo dived into his death. And after a messy first fight, BDS come out on top in the second.
Here to chase down Carlson. Meanwhile, Camilo's trying to help out on the other side of the fight, and he's getting completely caught out as well. Like, it's just misstep after misstep from Heretics, and a lot of it coming from, hey, missed coordination as, okay, pick happens.
Yeah, Nuke dies. Good pick there from Sheo and Carlson in the end. I think Nuke overstaying, looking for that first tower. Carlson gets the shutdown, which means he's 2,500 gold ahead now.
Yeah, so they do get something back, but yeah, I think Heretics, the team fighting does need to clean up a little bit, and just the coordination on the combos needs to be set up. Stop giggling at me.
That is understatement of the year.
Yeah, look, I'm trying real hard.
Both these teams clean up their team fights just a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fun games to watch, and the players are still showing some moments of brilliance in the middle of the madness. And you've got to say, Paris here. Thought maybe that blast coming from Sen could take him in. 1-1-3. We'll see his tower fall in front of his face. Second tower of the game for
Look for
Heretics.
BDS for the 5v5, but they're significantly more happy.
Sten was at half HP. Oh, Paris popping the Unbreakable Will there at the start of the fight, thinking he was going to get hooked. Camilo trying to dive in, but 1-1-3, and Nuke will keep him at bay. Carlson doing the same, and he is isolated from the rest of Heretics. BDS fighting 2. They lose nothing for it.
Yeah, it's a swing and a miss for Heretics. BDS now going to move up towards Adakat. Happy to gobble that one up. They can then continuously move down to the bottom side, look for a potential dragon, and Baron is going to spawn in less than a minute's time. So these objectives and these forced 5v5s are now starting to crop up for BDS as they're hitting their power spikes. Whereas for Heretics, haven't used the Pantheon as well as they needed to on these sidelines.
Haven't really had the opportunity, or haven't really had the impetus to find to respawn, but Heretics do not want any of that action for now. They'll give BDS their second dragon of the game and just go back to pushing out these lanes.
Yeah, BDS can push bot, get that bot tower as well, and not really be in a position to lose. So you're losing dragon, you're losing bot tower, some extra gold going into the hands of key carries here for BDS. So it's a pretty big shift in the power dynamic, because Heretics up until now kind of felt like they've had the tempo and they're the ones that are a bit more in control, but this last fight and the fact that it's kind of the 5v5s have really set them up for success. Heretics then missing that hook means that, again, you're just kind of split. Camilo tries to jump in with Carlson to get on towards the backside for Nuke, but the kitchen sink was thrown into that place, so you can really start to take control here, utilize the fact that you didn't actually use too much in the initial play. You're going to take the top turret first, but I think you try and just force a fight here as BDS.
I agree with that strategy. I will say BDS have not been the most aggressive mid-game team of all, but now they'll look for Sten as they jump across the wall. Paris in the middle of the team right now. Irrelevant's the one who's CC'd up and has to pop the Soulwatch. 1-1-3 on his way across as well, but Irrelevant, oh, he flashes just in time, still killed off by Carlson. A root landing onto Paris as well, and perhaps that's why we haven't seen BDS be so aggressive.
Fight as a group. I needed to, sorry, I did say as a group, and that's my bad.
Yeah,
I need to be more detail focused apparently, and yeah, now you get the picks. Camilo's going to get bot tier 2, and you've got a ton of control now for Heretics on this top half of the map. But again, this like small mistakes coming in and messing up everything for the BDS. Yeah.
Who punches better? Who lands their punches? Oh, Sten with the dodge of the first punch. That's the power of Hex Flash, baby.
He wouldn't be able to do that a second time if he had Flash, you know.
Let's see BDS fighting 4-member players strong around the mid lane. Irrelevant coming across the side. I mean, BDS have the vision at the Drake pit. Hook from Sten onto 1-1-3. Looking for the follow-up here, but they don't have it. Paris will get the kill on his enemy support. Camilo jumping in, base sealed, dashes back, flashes, and Ice puts him in the dirt. 1-1-3 flashing forward himself. He'll get stunned up. And 1-1-3 almost falling. Paris will take an extra tower shot. He'll go down to Carlson. Carlson and Flacker can look for a little bit more here. Nuke, though, still standing strong, basically full HP. The weirding out from Carlson, and he's going to die to the ticks of Ignite. Not quite. Survives through it. BDS win the fight in the mid lane.
Yeah, Heretics not able to get the combos that they want to. Camilo kind of on a one-man mission. Ends up falling on the side, and now BDS a third dragon to their name. You can see Sheo who's one, but
BDS are doing this on vision. It's on vision, but there's no jungler. Sheo unable to get there for the steal. Carlson looking for it. Sten Right, Hex flashed in and then went for the hook, and Carlson followed him, but now he realizes perhaps this is not where I want to be. Camilo looking for that flank as well. 1-1-3 with the Crescent Guard, Blackhead with the encore. Only lands the charm onto one. Okay, it's over for guys. Oh, Camilo, man, you're 6/10 of the way to glory. Oh, it needs to be 0-10, doesn't it? You can't have one kill already. Well,
Yeah, it's a disaster.
yeah, the Heretics fights in this game have not been as good as their fights were in the last game.
First game was. Our first fight was.
Oh, the first fight was, you're right, the second dragon of the game. And BDS are punishing them for it. Paris always on that front line alongside 1-1-3. Now they continue to push in, looking for the inhibitor here. They'll have the Might spawn to help them tank it. Carlson trying to put some damage down himself, but can't really find the way in. Goes between worlds with that ultimate. Twofold Hex as well on 1-1-3. They'll save the inhibitor for now. Paris diving back in. There's the equalizer as well. Black is going to need to heal everyone up, because right now everyone's going pop. There's 2 down already for Heretics. And they can't really find an opening. They overchase. Ice untouched on the backline. At 3 items, the Sivir will rip you to shreds.
Nuke wasn't even there. That was just the 4 people left on BDS, so that's going to be the second inhibitor going down as Heretics overextend. BDS looking to end this here.
But they're only 7,000 gold ahead. Can they close from this sort of position? Well, they've taken the first Nexus tower, and they'll look for the second. Camilo jumping in. Ice with a good spell shield will block everything there. The Encore's going to hit him, but Blackhead has to flash back to the fountain to survive the onslaught from Nuke and 1-1-3. BDS will close out the game and take us to a game 3.
This one.
3. So it's been a while since we've last seen Nuke on it. He wasn't the best at this champion, but back in 2023, I think you could say he was
he's
a different portion of his career. Yeah. We just use them to tank it up, and they help you take down those objectives really quickly. With the TP invested, though, from Irrelevant, it means if they can chunk him out and force him back, he's going to lose a lot of time. But, it's always quite difficult to work your way through a Scion.
Yeah, I think at this stage it's more of a, hey, we're just going to handshake on the swap, go for the cross maps, and look to just trade for plates. The Gnar a little bit less.
Realm Warp, that's the name of it. Had Essence Shift in my name there for a second, but he can always quickly move down towards the bottom side. It's not the early symbiotic shoes that we've seen on things like the Galio or even on the Talia in the mid lane or the Cho'Gath. Stand once again looking for Paris. Paris a little bit slow with the Shield of Daybreak, and Sheo's on his way. Paris slowed up, flash forward. Into the untargetability there from Sheo, but with 1-1-3 on his way, the Loathing Lullaby cleansed away by Black, and Nuke comes across. Paris gets first blood. It's actually Ice who secures it. Stend having to flash away here as well to save his AD carry.
The Realm Warp from Nuke really messed that up for Heretics.
1-1-3, that side of 1-1-3's jungle is available to you. You can take it away. Paris has his flashback up. Ice has both his summoners. There's the arrow onto Paris, into the charm, into the follow-up with the grand entrance. Charm comes back, Paris pulled back with Zenith Blade in though. Solar Flare goes wide, and Sheo is on the board on the Neferi.
Invulnerability coming through clutch there for Sheo, able to avoid the CC
and the hole
those.
in terms of gold right now, but I would say it won't be too dismayed with how this early game has gone. Importantly though, Sheo has got the Eclipse and has the Hound's Pursuit put to sleep with the Loathing Lullaby, and doesn't have a way out of there. No flash. He goes to Dreamland and wakes up in a nightmare.
Yeah, the invulnerability can't save you there. It's already targeted you as the sleep goes down, so even popping the invulnerability, it still lights out for Sheo.
Just importantly, untargetability rather than invulnerability on the W. You can still be hit with AoEs and such, but you're not able to be targeted by any spells, right? So
it's Sheo has got a kill, sure, but it's like he's not really in a position to follow up on a lot of plays. BDS definitely the ones in control. And also the fact that when you get towards these next couple of objectives, like a third dragon in 3 minutes time, you have that really strong team fight, and Heretics are going to have to fight into it at a position where they're pretty good. Now Paris, they're looking for the pick on him thanks to that blast cone.
Chased down by the dogs for the moment, but won't be able to chase him down any further. Arrow onto 1-1-3. There's Sten going in with the quickness as well in the chase. The flash across the wall from 1-1-3. He lives. He lives. The volley blocked by Paris, and Nuke 1-1-3 survives. But for how much longer is the question. Starts to walk away. Ice coming in, opening up onto Sheo. dodge this. Ice gets his third on the board.
The way Bambi fans hoped the movie had gone there, the deer just about able to get away from the hounds as Sheo fall. You need to try and find some sort of pick, but it's just when you're in this position as Heretics, it's so difficult. You've even got Zion, Relevant now, starting to move back over towards his mid lane. Rifter are going to go down, so potential Dragon for mid lane trade.
Noticing Lullaby not available for 113. That Lilia ultimate still down. Nuke did TP to the mid lane after pushing up top. Sten looking for the engaged bullet time, stopped by Carlson. Immediately they dive onto Ice, but Ice is yet to die. That Bloodthirster healing him up so much. He'll exchange his life for Sheo's. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, Nuke still putting the damage down into Carlson, who has to flash away from the decimating smash. The arrow coming out from Placard. He'll open up, but Irrelevant very tanky for the moment. Nuke will look for that spell flux, but he really needs the Rune Prison to connect. Onto Placard, gets the slow. More damage with the overload. In the end, a 2-2 exchange.
Still though, could have been devastating, but was it the knockup from Stend or was it
I feel
Carlson?
like it's got to be Stend. Oh, never mind. Another knockup coming out from Sten. Paris, the first target, down to half HP. Charm coming out from Sten as well as they dive onto Paris again, but the solar flare hits Camillu. Blackhead opening up, Paris able to survive. Meanwhile, Irrelevant's on the backline, losing Lullaby. Blackhead almost falls asleep, but he cleanses immediately. Camillu did take a brief nap, but is able to flash across the wall to survive. Carlson with the Mega Gnar, not able to survive. BDS find 2 again, and will take their third Drake of the game.
The CC from BDS was Heretics and also giving Nuke access to this bottom side for that tier 1 as well.
Yeah, Ice just constantly pushing those waves in. Flakid is able to catch it in time, has the Runans complete now, so it's 2 items on that Ashe. Nuke can look for Camillu here. BDS do have first move towards it, but 113 will just step forward to make sure they get the tower. Arrow again. Watch out, 113, he eats his way to safety. Sten's going to grand entrance and grand exit and get back towards this Tribush.
So BDS got what they came for. All they wanted was that bot side turret. Now they can continue to just keep up pressure, but this game is getting more and more difficult for Heretics. They're losing control of the map. Their picks aren't really coming around, and it needs a composition operates.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. I do think chucking some stuff out to burn things is always a good play, right? Like, use the quickness, use Rakan Flash. It does work well in team fights, but it's not as important as a cleanse flash out of Ice, you know? Carlson is just going to ignore Irrelevant, who is living up to his name in terms of stopping that tower from going down, as Carlson will be able to secure the second tower of the game for Heretics. Paris jumping in here, Solar Flare going wide. There's the quickness, there's the follow-up. A 4-man charm as Nuke has to flash away. 113 stepping forward, bullet time coming out as well. In the end, both teams will be able to walk away. 30 seconds to secure it. At the moment, they're focusing on that Scuttle Crab. 113 has 3 masks in his inventory. The Leandri's double haunting, guys, gives you such a spike of damage.
BDS lost control over mid, so Ice had to rotate to cover. Now Ice is in a bit of a precarious spot as Stend has that quickness very soon available with the flash.
Relevant very tanky though. It's down to half HP and burn his TP to get him in time to fight around the dragon. Sheo clearing out vision once again. Heretics pushing BDS back towards their jungle. Swellseed wide again. 113 looking for that blue. Steps forward. Flash forward immediately. Charm doesn't land the blooming blow. Sten looking for the charm himself. Unstoppable Onslaught coming out from Irrelevant. Ice kills off Sten, but 113 is going to fall as well. Irrelevant forced up towards the top side. BDS now fighting a 3v4. Another charm cleansed away by Ice. He gets himself to safety, but now with no jungler can BDS contest because Carlson's got that Mega Gnar stacked up.
There in time. Irrelevant wasn't quite there in time. Even the bullet time from Ice wasn't on time. So now Heretics holding on towards mid tower.
BDS have spent an age trying to take down this mid tower. Ammo going in. There's the quickness. Follow into the Mega Gnar, into the wall. Camillu finds the first to fall. 113 will die, as will Sten. Irrelevant's going to come back from the dead. Camillu looking for a little bit more, dodges away from the Zenith Blade with that Spirit Rush. Heretics find 2 again. Their eyes immediately turn towards the Baron, but I think that might be a little bit greedy.
They want to try and go for Ice here. He stepped forward. Carlson moving in.
Ice still has the flash. He will use it to get away from the boomerang. Shale still on the chase. Hawk shot for a bit of vision. Nuke trying to get that movement speed away. Sheo doing everything he can. Gets the shield out from the Seraphs. Goes untargetable. And Nuke goes down. Camillu gets the shutdown. And then Atakan on the menu for Heretics.
So they may not be able to get the objective on the top side, but a kill on that bottom side is going to be very happy for Heretics to collect. You can see Paris starting to move over to get vision. Looks like they're going to send Carlson towards that top side just to make sure he can pick it up as 5 members of BDS are still strong in this mid lane, but still have to be careful of a BDS engage.
Double onslaught going out. They're going for Flack. It has no flash, remember. Sten forced up towards the top side. There's the quickness from him. The false life still sitting on Heretics. Irrelevant charmed up, and he'll go down. Bullet time opens up, but only on Carlson, who finds another Gnar and lands 1-1-3 and nuke into the wall. Sheo diving deep. 1-1-3 going to fall. Paris getting chased out as well. Irrelevant's gone down. Paris has to flash the wall. Heretics haven't lost anyone. Only Carlson's false life. They're pushing for the mid-tier 1. And they will be able to secure it. I think Camilu's going to get it. And then Baron as well. Heretics have flipped this game
the
on
tools
its...
to just lock people down from it.
It always feels like Ice and you've got a long way away from where the engage is. It becomes very hard for them to actually find avenues to approach. Dragon started now. Charm onto Irrelevant. It's a lot of his health bar. Carlson going up towards the Mega, lands the wallop as well. Meanwhile, like, the Dragon is being taken while all of this is happening. BDS getting forced out in a 5v2 in essence, as Camilu and Carlson able to chunk away at Irrelevant's HP bar. The Baron remains on Heretics for 2 more minutes. They have a split pushing Sheo down towards that bottom side. Solo player on Flack. It has the cleanse, gets away from the bullet time. Good charm as well from Camilu to stop that bullet time in its tracks.
It did get the wave though, which is kind of crucial here for BDS, because ideally... Oh, hang on.
Spirit Rush across the wall. Orb of Deception not going to be enough, nor the volley. Irrelevant survives with 150 HP. Camilu now rushing forward, looking for Ice. They jump onto him, and Ice is defrosted. 1-1-3 next on the menu. A 2-man sleep will be enough to keep him alive, but not enough to save his towers. Meanwhile, Sheo's just been pushing in the bot side this entire time.
This game has become a hokey pokey for Camilu. He's going in and out and catching everyone on BDS. And now with the TP from Camilu towards the mid lane, Heretics want to take down BDS right now.
The early game was not what they wanted, but Heretics have bounced back. The first Nexus tower has been razed to the ground, and Irrelevant can't clear out this wave. It's all on Nuke to really do so. 1-1-3 going through with the blooming blows, but can't get onto the backline at all, and can't get out of the fountain. Irrelevant down as well. They're getting married! Heretics will pick up the win and take their second series in the LEC Spring.
To it.
Sure. And I think Rogue as well. I mean, this is definitely something that we've come to know of them now. We'll see whether there's something they can leverage on and make it into their own vintage for Karen down that line. They have a strong front to back. They have
the of this comp. It sounds like such a, powerful
you know,
world.
the globular
It's got about a minute 30-ish to go.
Might have an angle onto him here.
Might indeed,
No
because Caps has no flash. Permafrost with Larson able to hit and free hit would be good, but Skumon in the way. This turns into a 2v2 where for Skumon, as he's flashed on by Malrung, he still has the damage. Malrung looks too ambitiously and stares death in the eye. Skumon with first blood as Adam made the roam up and gets one for himself. The hero of Rogue on the board. Dragon, so we're going to have an even trade across the board. There's no real gold lead in this game, but what there is a Fed Pantheon versus Larson in a pretty good position. That's what I'll say, because again, this is here, as we already talked about, keeping up with the Taliyah, and I think this is one of the few lanes we've seen where Taliyah's not coming out of 15 minutes with the lead.
Especially in Europe.
Oh yeah.
In Europe, I think that Taliyah has been such a crutch pick when I think of even mid laners which were struggling a little bit. Taliyah has been a good, comfortable pick for them, where they managed
Taken
to
up by G2's top laner while Rogue are focusing on the Herald for now.
Vision.
Caps is indeed. He gets shuffled back and caught out. Caps dead. Shut down over to Malrang. Teleport going to be burned.
Anyway here, BB gets alone time on turret though. So despite the kill going over towards Rogue, BB's getting a lot of value.
It really is. And again, I mean, this Galio, when you have double AP solo laner, the value is only going to be immense. Rogue going to get some gold themselves. It's going to be shared, but at the very least, turret goes down, and that equals up the gold somewhat. But remember, G2 are going to be dragon stacking here in this game after the Cloud. 2 more to go versus this Herald to see if Rogue can get any more pressure and open up the map a bit.
I have to say, that last series of play where Caps has given up the defense of this tower, which means that, despite Rogue having some decent vision control, getting those picks earlier, losing bot lane turret once they teleport away from it, losing top lane turret, now that gold goes over to Caps, G2 slowly opening up the map.
I'd look at Serelda's, I'd be confused.
Dude, we already had a bit of an issue with Syzygy back when we had that. Skumon jumped onto not starting the fight just yet. Herald Summon in mid lane, looking to break open the map. Of course, Rogue no real pressure in this mid lane just yet.
There's no synergy with this play, actually. Skumon's caught out, but he buys some time, gets a stun down. The hero's entrance is good, and I was going to say that, but Skumon survived so much longer than I thought. Rogue couldn't get the damage committed, and they're probably just not at the point yet. Larson sped up by the Auroras. LeBron sets up with the quickness, and the all-in is perfectly done. Skumon again just refuses to say die. Broken Blade has to flash out in the end, but he's okay. A permafrost followed by Rogue's Malrang, but G2 have won the play, and they've won it off the back of singular members.
Wonderful engage there from G2. That's going to stop any kind of gain that happened with that Herald there. In fact, Rogue are going to lose their own mid lane turret. And G2 now have Patrick also just getting the transformation now. More about it. That's a good power spike. Of course, caught up very early in that last play. Rogue quickly taking the dragon down.
Well, Skumon is going to face check this. Going for a 50-50 is like where we start. XQ tries to get in the way, but G2 do not. They leave it as 2 for 2 dragons in the game, as G2 also have the inside track towards mid. Adam trying to get there first, but Rogue are all spotted out. Moving through Tri-Brush on a ward.
Ezreal trying to clear out a bit of that mid wave. G2 do have a lot of tools still to start fights. They can Pantheon ult if they really find someone on Vision. You've got the Taliyah ult as well. When you leave an objective like that as Dragon, you do need to be very careful that you're not leaving someone just out to dry. Because G2 can, if there is just a random ward which you've missed, can absolutely punish you that. Still, G2 in a really good spot now. They have a team which can really punish the open map, as we've highlighted probably to death at this point. Sorry for telling you even more about that.
That's okay.
They also have complete control. Thank you, I appreciate that.
I am the voice.
Potentially a threat by G2. If they can seal off Rogue from going through that Tri-Brush, which they can definitely do with the Taliyah, that's a bit of a problem for Rogue.
They're all down here and on a ward. They know they've started and that G2 are committing. Adam's going to be in first, but the face checking needs to be done by Execute and Malrang. Hans Sama is out of the blue, and they're just going to leave Atakan for now. G2 looking to draw in Rogue a little bit closer.
Broken Blade on the flank will be spotted. Oh, here comes Pantheon.
He just rolls on in onto Adam, onto Larson. Who do you want? He finds the mid laner, and with the hero's entrance as well, Broken Blade zones out the whole fight. Execute doesn't get a chance. Shield of Durand, a false turret behind them, but gives no inspiration to Patrick. He drops like a fly as Lebrov is the opposite answer. 2 for 1, bot laners get it hard.
Oh, it's a superhero landing from Skumon, really helped out by the Galio. Splits the team fight wonderfully, and Rogue can't contest this Atakan now. Larson would have to teleport back in, but he hasn't managed to recall in time. Broken Blade holding the door shut. G2, good objective.
I mean, Broken Blade won't die to these two. It'll take a long time. He just punches away. Good zoning from Cats in the meantime as well. Skumon's low, but they don't know that yet. Rogue are unaware, and with Tri-Brush control just lost as well. Skumon, okay, now they spot him out, but the Smite's going to come down, and GA acquired. G2 with another big back play.
Very clean game, and here come the ultimates.
Yeah, Larson, who was once killing, is now going to be frilling because he's up against a turret with no hope. The full dive comes online, and this is what G2's comp was built for. You say Ed2. I say G2 are still cleaning house.
Clean use of the ultimates. G2 punish Rogue for sending people to too many different parts of the map. Larson had no backup. And of course, they have the Atakan to make sure it's extra super safe as well. Malorang's even trying to split push in the mid lane, because what else can he do? He can maybe head over towards the Baron, but without the Azir, you can't really fight. You're looking for a steal at best.
Broken Blade's going to zone. Malrang gets nowhere near it. They're level 13. It's a level and a half down, and you just see how hard it is for Jungle to play the game. Shield of Duran is going to be a 1, only 1, but for Broken Blade at half HP, he's taken next to no damage. He's bought time. Execute with the depth charge, but Baron now down. Remember, they still have GA for a little bit, and it's going to be used out. 1 GA down, 200 gold for the cost of Baron. Not bad.
And of course, with the Atakan, it's not even like you lose that Baron buff onto the one member that died there. Of Labrov. A little bit of pressure going to be seeded in this mid lane. Maybe Patrick can get the mid lane turret, but it feels like it is a very, very slim silver lining. G2 did basically the textbook move. Take the Baron, goes on to Baron. Take the Atakan, goes on to the Baron easily with the GAs.
Games where Rogue never say die. I'm not going to say that this game is done until G2 run it home, even though G2 are a top 2 team.
Hey, let's see if they can get into 37 minutes again. They do get themselves G2, the extra Chemtech Dragon, the extra heal on Shield Power, and Tenacity. Go nicely for them. Bush bait happening in the spot side now. Larson shows it, ruins it.
He does indeed. Lebrov's also coming from a flank, gets a deep ward, and Malrang jumps on him. But again, Rakan means no worries. He's got the Hakuna Matata mentality.
I thought there was Hakuna Matata, not, you know, Labrov, or whatever it is.
Rakan is like the Timon of this, you know, of this conversation.
I thought it was going to be Sejuani meant to be on the other side.
Sejuani is Pumba, for sure. I don't know what Execute is. Wrong game, wrong movie franchise, just doesn't belong there. Dead for a 3rd time in this game, as bot turret is going to open up with that pick as well. And here's a Pantheon ult rolling through. Skumon going to zone off and make sure Piggy goes nowhere. Pumba needs to start singing now. Skewmon blocking some damage from Patrick is nice, but it's all for the turret. Send him away with Cap's ulti used well as LeBron. A good dodge as well, because the turret was going to kill it.
You have to have a very high IQ to understand League of Legends.
League of Legends, you need psychology. You need a psychologist after playing a couple of days of solo queue, trust me. Okay,
Baron is now up and available. Rogue managed to push outside of their base. G2 maybe looking for a chance to pounce. Caps recalling, Dragon being taken would be Soul, and then Taliyah will look to teleport topside.
Well, I mean, Baron's not going down quick enough, so for Rogue, this could be so dangerous. Soul gone, Hansama might not be in, but he's going to be chasing down. Here's everyone jumping in. Pantheon Olden, Baron exposed and stolen! In front of Skewmon, Marang stands no chance. A spear over the wall as well. Through the heart of Rogue, they run, but how far?
Well, we'll see. Caps doesn't have the wall anymore, but wants to put down that E. Does get hooked onto it.
And here comes the hero's entrance as well. Broken Blade, you're very much a hero here as Larson tried to separate the pack, but G2 are going to chase him down. Caps is looking for yet another as he wants his first kill of the game, rather, and Broken Blade going to chase down the remnants. That is Adam. This game in the too hard basket. And with longer death time as a base, it's going to be tatters, if not destroyed completely.
It has felt so anti-fun for Rogue to play this game.
Yeah.
G2 have had a stranglehold, and they have not allowed Rogue vision, they have not allowed them team fights, they have not even allowed them the few objectives that they've really headed towards. G2, very clean, very dominant.
On to the Nexus turrets. I mean, Malrang's up in a second, Patrick up in 15. They're going to try anyway, and G2 have the soul, so it might help with the low health bars as Adam's ulti did nothing, and Malrang, as he steps up to defend, might be trying to do a little bit more than something as G2 run away. They're not going to take this full 5-on-5 that's soon going to become as True Shot Barrage comes through. 13-14k up. We had the Genji Hummer life game that was like that as Larson is going to get away, but Cap
I don't know if he is.
Yeah, I mean, there's no chance, is there? He can do it himself. Skewmon tries to get involved, and with a 4 versus 5 now, Skewmon is now against the wall. Rogue might have an angle, but what angle is there? He's buying so much time. There's a hero's entrance. Skewmon is still alive. In goes Broken Blade, and yeah, Skewmon's going to die. They keep it a little bit competitive, but how do you kill Broken Blade as flying in to save the day as Hansama? And we're back to square one. Take a couple of kills to pad the stats. Hansama, he's going to end 4 kills up, open Nexus, and at 35 minutes, G2 make that slow burn, simmer out.
If you're a G2 coach, that is exactly what you want to see. That is text. Not get all in by the Garen, otherwise your game can just end. And if the Garen gets ahead of you, you can just continually trade onto your course. Your counter-strike doesn't work that well versus the bold spin to win. G2 do, however, have pay attention to that.
True. Judgment is starting to build up work as well as I assume it's first setup as Malrang's flashed on. Twisted Advance already used. Caps gets the Shuriken flip, and rather it's just Fan of Knives setting up the passive as well. Malrang in so much trouble. A Bramble smash and sets up to flip back in. Caps with first blood while LeBron makes sure.
I can't remember which matchup it was. Gravity Field Darius froze Darius midway through ult, which is the stretch frame. So you had a Darius about 3 times as tall as he should have been. Oh yeah. Hilarious. I'm sure there are pictures of it somewhere.
I mean, janky, like, before, I think, season 7 or 8,
yeah.
A League of Legends, when it had bugs, they were janky.
I'm sitting back from the wave. Come on, what was happening? What were we saying? If you make a mistake against 6 scrubs, a couple of waves, your tower's gone. Caps gets some great gold up here. He's over 1.5k ahead. What? Very, very fair to Kali because Rogue make a simple misstep, a slightly bad TP, and G2 very good at punishing.
And that Riftmaker isn't going back. He must be sitting on a lot of gold that he can heal up before the next wave crashes.
And this is not looking great for either side of the lane now. The Garen is not ahead of this matchup. The counter pick in top lane, which I thought Red Side Draft was going to be very successful for Rogue, or more successful in that first game, hasn't led to much value right now. However, BB might have overstayed.
Maybe he can get the wave. Cannon minion is what I'm looking at here, but Adam might have an opportunity. Free ulti. Okay, it's a bait. Adam now the smart one in the books. He picked up his first kill in the game. Cap's going to be trading with topside turret.
Yeah, the leap strike cancelled out, well played by Execute. However, on the other side, the cross map comes through. 6 scrubs means that two attempts at the tower. Caps will take that one. 425 gold as if he weren't fed enough already. Has Leandris, didn't go for the Riftmaker.
Yeah, okay.
So it's
even under turret, Execute will tank it up. Shattering strike and another kill. Broken Blade jumps away. Judgment was not available. Let's call it justice, because that's what it would have been if Adam found kill number 2.
Oh, so close. Adam very, very nearly combing up again. Labrov has the minion taxi.
Yeah, this time, this is going to be an easy kill. Returned over to Execute. Hansama with Labrov's help lands on the CC. Skewmon not going to clear that ward yet, and it is completely dark apart from that one defensive ward. Like G2, you have a look. Okay, we can't see Dragon. Yes, we've got a ward in front of the pit, but it's a mountain rift. There's obstacles in the way. Herald that Nymera was talking about before going to be used against 6 scrub comp, and they're going to take Dragon. Larson's up there having a tea party with the minions. Mid turret's gone. Dragon's about to drop as well because no one can step up to caps unless it's 3 members.
But what is Rogue going to do about this? You have just lost 2 turrets, a Dragon here as well, and what have you gained? A little bit of time
against the Ignite Garen. The swap again from G2. Can't say how clean it was enough as Adam's just trying to defend here, using Strikebreaker as best he can. The range from G2 being used. Maxistorm, no, finally, a fight is there, but Chains of Corruption. XQ's going to get wiped. Larson TPs, but not a moment too late. Coming from behind, Broken Blade, the Jacks from downtown, from down away. A flash away from Adam, but the rest of the team are zoned out. It's a sick headbutt as Larson will take the Unbreakable Will, but you got to watch out. Caps in the middle, even though he's low, he'll survive. Oh! He's just that strong, baby. G2 all Sundered Sky, 2-item Jacks. They're going to commit to it, it looks like, at 5k, but if you look at your clock, you'll notice there is no Rogue on it this game, or at least this series. Atakan down, GA's enabled. Dragon's up in 45, another reset for G2 to test the waters again.
Yeah, and now
that one gank, that one bait bot, but he's never run away with the game. You look at Larson as well on this Silas, constantly gapped in lane by Caps. As you look at him onto Malrang, we're going to get a 1v2 eventually, but Malrang, will he survive until then? The all-in with the rest of Rogue, as Caps is probably just bored at this point. He runs in, GA popped, and Larson takes the ulti. But my friends, you look at the rest of the map, mid's going to get pushed in, bots under pressure. Also, you only just took a GA. Caps has teleport to rejoin.
And it's against the 6 grubs. You commit four people top side, and G2 have 6 grubs in bot lane and in mid lane. The tower is going to completely go down. G2 are happy losing one withdrawal, one of that GA from the voracious Atakan, and they walk away.
Atakan has been done a while ago. The GA's at least expired. I truly wonder if Larson can win this, but I think the answer's probably no. Double buffs there for Broken Blade. Ulti for ulti. Let's have a go. At least we get to see some action. Larson saw they're getting whittled down, and eventually the Sundered Sky will come back in, give him a bit more leverage. There it is. Larson heals up with the Kingslayer, but Broken Blade only 1v1. Lebrov, go away. No one cares. Lebrov! It doesn't count. Broken Blade got support. The best support steal of a Baron I've ever seen. The Ents go out, they slow down, Larson goes in, but Baron's gone. Now for G2, the fight begins finally, a team fight ensues. We haven't had one of those this game, but Rogue are losing it so handily. Hans Simon flashes to the back of the pit, and while Larson looks to go in to find a target, he's in the middle of 3. Hans is dicing, dancing between while the rest of Rogue have already run away. To Larson's credit, he does get a kill, but Caps is still healthy enough. On top of him, Shuriken Din. Meanwhile, Broken Blade died to Adam, so props to Rogue.
CMB, as we see a little bit later, potentially goes a little bit too deep onto that one, but we'll just say that one.
Nice one. I love it. Justice. Hell yeah. The most satisfying Garen ult.
It's like same kind of vibe as the dubstep Ignite, where you just walk up, press Ignite, walk away, that's your kill.
Some Garen ults like shake the screen. You know, I think that the God and
the God King.
And the Darius one also, I think they shake the screen. You have to turn it off in settings, which is a tilter to find anyway.
There are some of the ones which get pentas, like the Samira one and the Pike ones, they get pentakills because there's no enemies to disrupt their grabs at that point. Then they go absolutely well. BB pushing up a little bit far to mid lane, but he's free to do so. Of course, Baron buff onto 3 members of G2. They'll be happy to push out most of the map, use those 6 grubs to crush down the last resistance of Rogue.
Brov waiting in a bush though. Adam probably didn't expect that, but the Brov just disengages and zones off because you look at top, they're going to go for the turret. There we go. Demazi Injustice again. All right, G2. Maybe not as safe as you thought in this game. Broken Blade at half HP. Broke get another.
Forgets that Alistair ultimate doesn't stop true damage and there's an engage coming through.
Yeah, but there's a Chains of Corruption and Execute's in harm's way. Skumon taking enough, and now that Nature's Grasp was out with a good Bramble Smash, he disengages, but over the wall, Malrang follows up until Broken Blade runs in himself. There's no more justice available as Execute is a free target. Patrick now pounced on as well. The Zonya's coming in handy as Broken Blade meets with Larson. He's rejoined in with the Scott of Duck mid-air. Broken Blade still wants to take it, but he'll die too. G2 are playing with it while Caps is thinking about his entrance.
That's not a joke anymore.
Yeah, we stop laughing, we start getting concerned, but at least in a turret and top for G2. Brings us to the peak of reality, which is that G2 are now going to move to 8k. They've never really let go of that gold lead. In fact, it's still growing.
G2, of course, started the Baron. It's being forced by G2.
G2 doing this pretty fast. Broken Blade zoning one side, caps the other. Skumon ready to turn. Nate Scratch is sent out, and Adam not going to be caught by him. ECG2 forget the Baron looking for the fight. Broken Blade jumps in, and Larson will steal the Unbreakable Will, but a good Shattering Strike set up with the Magnet Storm from Rel. Hunt Summer engaged on the backline by Larson, but Execute's already dead before they can help out. And once again, the Compass 3. Larson, it worked last time, but they're stronger now. A double, meanwhile, by Caps and Broken Blade chasing down the final pieces of Rogue. Adam taking enough to deal with Broken Blade, I say that, but over the wall and over again. Adam is running, but he's got no friends. Under this turret, this will be his last call, and Broken Blade, he's going to take care of it all. 16-5 in the end, he might run forever, but G2 with a 2-0 is what you can take away from this perfect ending series.
A little bit long on the time, but never really in question. Rogue were out macroed, and G2, their coaches will be very happy with how clean the closeouts were.
Yes, they will indeed. G2 still on top, still looking good. Here in the LEC Spring, 3-0. Not dropping a single game at the start of this all.
Never really in question, was it? Maybe a little bit slow.
You're SK coming into this game. What do you need to do to balance out the weaknesses of the composition?
That's a good question. I'm going to need to think a little bit.
You can take your time. Should you expect more out of a Kalista in the context of this game?
I mean, I would have wanted to see them maybe get a base off and then look for just some sort of item lead.
Hold that as the dive might be coming out. Gen X trying to clear the wave as quickly as he can. Excellent layering of the CC. A quick first blood. Aftershock for Yike. Keeping it barely standing.
It's a quick and easy dive by the side of KC. Gen X does have TP while also having CC.
And again, the Lily is something they opted for.
Yeah.
Tank junglers were kind of what we were expecting.
KC didn't pick it for them.
Yeah, it did.
Like I said.
But it's not like other things
The
were
design
taking
is good. I just feel like they should change the rend is so important for securing objectives, but KC are able to just sneak away.
And despite the fact that you promised me that
but you never
Sejuani Leona would result in Mercs on the enemy team, I only see one pair.
Well, you see one pair of... It's perfect. It's balanced, as I said. You see one pair of plated steel caps and one pair of mercs, and two people that couldn't decide, so they went something else.
There, the wall does not matter. No escape for Reeker in the blink of an eye. He disappears. KC, quick pick, the follow-up TP from Vladdy just to make sure. Reeker tried to find the escape angle. It was a good look, but just too much immediate, reliable. Doesn't want to burn any CC.
Smite King.
Herald does go down. I mean, good on SK to get a small punish here.
It is going to be the Herald going over to the side of SK, but Kana intelligently ends up not to be... Oh, but Jack
up on the Targamas. Double sleep. Watch out, Eve not going to connect. Kalist, good with the Fate's Call.
Low play that KC has.
Loopy, no ultimate from the previous play. Committing. Yike. Double Frost procs. Ignite ticking. Loopy down. I mean, good look from KC. Good a winner in their early game execution, and sadly, despite some positive lanes, especially in the bot lane 2v2, it just did not matter. Flash back. Good reaction from Kadui, but KC happy to have that cooldown. Yike now might be the only one in trouble, but the tower's already down. Now it's SK who might just get caught out. It's quick stun there. Loopy trying to keep it going, but there's no immediate follow-up damage. Reeker starting to look a little unleashed. Kana trying to retreat, flash over the fat part of the wall. Well done, but now the Scion starting to chase, looking for the lineup. Won't quite connect on anybody. Looking for a bit more. Lucy flashing in. Chain CC not quite there. The Scion just can't hit a kill to save his life. Knockback there from Vladdy. And again, it's all falling apart. Reeker laying down some good damage. Q coming in from Gen X, finally finding a bit of CC. Loopy goes back in, but just gets taken out in the blink of an eye. The Swirl Sleeve doesn't connect. Now Bukata's essentially out of mana. The full channel on the Q, not enough. Vladdy flashing forward. When he snaps back, Bukata's dead. And there he goes.
Oh my god! It's gonna be an ace for KC, as everything that could go wrong for SK does. There was like 50 mechanical things that I could talk about in this team. Somehow it misses, and now we got solo kill on the Dialstar.
Is it personal for Vladdy? SK reactions. Just to show the full spectrum of emotion here. We're not picking on you. Your face just happens to be a perfect explanation of what has happened in the game thus far for anyone who has not been watching.
That must have been that fight. This draft is not deep. It's very hard to play. But they're going to pick on Targamas, no flash.
Blink is there.
In range.
Kalista too far away. Kalista not going to be able to stay able to support. Targamas living for a damn long time. Bukata goes golden, gets a bit more space, but a well-timed ulti coming in from Kana. Now Vladdy's here as well. Giz going to give his life in the process. Kalista, the last one to chase. That's a big shutdown. Kalista and KC, do they want to keep going? They don't have any ultis left.
It's a great pick from SK. They're able to pick up two, but KC are able to start the Otacon here, and I don't know if SK can really enter. Gen X is so chunked.
I think that they...
They have to drop it. So it's
They might go back in. 6K.
trying.
But they can't.
have the
There's
red
no
plus
chance.
smite.
There's no chance they
And
can
they have no
steal it.
smite.
And I don't know if they win the fight.
It's too hard.
Okay, Rift Herald dropped in mid lane.
The Guardian Angel Atakan. It is not gonna. Crazy movement.
Crazy movement. Not okay. We might have jinxed
He
him.
can still do it. He's tanky.
He's moving. Taking a lot of damage. The movement still a little crazy. Follow up with the ulti. The movement's going crazy now. Bukata knocked back. Another stun coming in for the minefield. Second time Kana stunned himself and Jax again.
Where's he going? Where's he driving that thing? Oh my goodness. I mean, crazy movement from Kana. He's able to secure 3 kills.
I just wanted to hype up your point. I don't know if it was crazy movement. He's just really,
it was really clean.
far
He was
ahead.
dash and farm back and forth.
Gen X.
Oh, Vladdy.
Knock on the kill. Vladdy goes in, unstoppable. Power shot connects, only taking away an immortal shield, bow shield.
Okay.
And no one's died yet. They still all have false lives.
See, I wanted to, instead of saying crazy movement, I meant like individual outplays with the GA Atakan, because you have that confidence, and that's exactly what they showed me. Ballooning the gold lead to 10,000 gold, and they're gonna get tier 2 bot as well as a cherry on top.
Only 23 minutes in the game. Baron hasn't spawned yet. They're gonna probably get Baron or Soul once they reset here. They will retreat because I don't think they want to risk. Again, I think the way that they can lose this game.
It's like KC, they get an inch and they take a mile. Is that what they say?
Yeah. A kilometer.
Yeah. With the QSS removal and Targamon's here finishing.
Good combo to start things off, but it's on the tankiest members of the team. Loopy getting chunked out here. Ulti not doing a lot. Vladdy set up to do a lot of work here, but doesn't quite have the angle to follow up still. SK going down. So many members still standing. There's just too many carry threats on the side of KC. Kadui's got no room to work. Bukata's just running as fast as he can. Vladdy trying to get involved again, looking for another Q3. Gonna try and chase down Gen X, even that tanky Scion. Gonna fall in just a couple of seconds. Triple kill for Kalist.
And it's 4 kills going overtime to the KC, and I think they can end here. It's gonna be 30 seconds on the carries of SK and KC. What a dominant game 1.
Incredibly dominant. The improvements in draft that Odawamne was looking for, and the outplay and execution still on point as always.
Yeah, just a beautiful showcase of mechanics and a very well snowballed game. No throw.
No throw. It is possible.
It is possible.
27-minute game. The picture of dominance from KC. 15,000 gold lead just about as we close this one out. Taking their time with it, getting ready for game 2. Momentum, no doubt, on their side. SK, we'll see how they adapt. Expecting changes in draft.
Yeah. Once you get that level 6, I mean, everybody knows level 6 Fiddlesticks is a scary
The
experience.
Crow Storm. Oh yeah, where's Medic when you need him? Probably already home. Okay. Because again, if Yike just gets to level 6 for free without forcing any fights, it's incredibly good. Nice fear from Targamas, fall up there, Aegis Assault. Flash already gone from Targamas. Bukata can just walk in. They've got 2 creeps, and I think it'll be enough. Bukata just going in. 3 Talon Strike looking to lock up Kalist as well. Excellently played tower dive there. Small window of opportunity, but capitalized on the side of KC. Vladdy now on the way down, but it's Kadui in trouble. Might just have to accept his death here. Will do so. Stun goes in. Now it's Vladdy as well. You can't walk face first into the Pantheon of Sin.
What a bloodbath as it starts off with Targamas disrespecting W, but it is going to be Kana being zoned off of bot lane here, but Gen X is going to be able to TP top, and I don't think they actually have the damage to dive Gen X. Because, like, yeah, you can ulti, but you need your whole team behind you.
It's similar to, I don't know if you remember, there was one time where Mickey played Lysandra support, I want to say, into Rakan.
Yeah, he loved it into Rakan, yeah.
Yeah, and it's, the cool thing about that is if you get fed, you have money for Zhonya's. You feel like a god.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're broke. And this champion can't really find those scenarios without any money.
He's dead.
Wind becomes lightning, plus the flash from Bukata. Nice follow-up using the Q3 instead to hit Kalist. And now they want to keep the dive going. Kadui looking for the ball, forcing the flash out from
Gen
Kalist.
X, they don't really have to worry about Fiddlesticks himself.
Yeah, if you ever see him, you
But
just jump
Bukata
on
might
him.
have to worry here.
Bukata, that's the Crow Storm going in. Set him there, he's gonna get a chance to push the ult. Now it's Vladdy chasing down. Crow Storm gone. Pushback just barely not collecting on Kalist, and that's another kill for KC.
And it's SK trying to face check against this Fiddlesticks, disrespecting the Fiddlesticks engage range. Targamas doesn't even have to flash to get on top of them. And it's a Drake going outside of KC, and it feels like the momentum has shifted back in their favor.
It has, and I think that's just that little bit of disrespect from SK. Not having having the vision set up, not quite being in a good enough position. Sure, Connor might have to be careful under the tower. He's a sleepy boy. Stuck in mini is a rough deal. Genex gonna reset the tower aggro. Do they want to keep hitting him here? Q3 goes through. Bukata finding it, but now it's Vladdy on the chase, dashing through, looking to finish this kill onto Genex, hoping to find a little bit more. He finds one. Vladdy wants to keep it going. He goes back to the shroud, and he's just gonna walk it off.
Oh my god. And Vladdy there, recognizing that Genex has no pool. He flashes in, ultis forward, and he's able to take down Genex, making it a 1-for-1. Riku will take bot tower here, but Callisto's on him.
So starting moving in, Reeker fishing for it, but there's Targamas just clipping him with the edge of the fear, the instantaneous silence to stop any follow-up. It doesn't really matter that much, but still looks good. Now the fight breaking out. Genex still doing a decent amount of damage here, trying to set things up with the Tides of Blood. Loopy standing on the front line. The Herald already taken down. Bukata able to steal it, but now Callisto's on the chase. Kadui taken out. It's all falling apart for SK. Genex the only strong point, but now he's silenced. Wants that Q3, the Crimson Rush. There's just so much CC. He's not able to get the extra healing. Excellent backstep to deny the Crimson Rush. Now they're just gonna kill him. The silence. Tides of Blood going in. A bit more healing. Needs an extra second. Can't finish it.
Oh my god, it's a disaster for SK as they just get out.
But again, Vlad's Q damage is instantaneous, but the heal returning to you takes time. So dies before that can come back, even if he tries to get the Q off. Sheesh.
Sheesh Louise. I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah. And I will say, I was an MF hater. They locked in a draft. I was immediately salty about it. I'm not the biggest MF fan, but 5-0-2 from Callist, putting the Bloodthirster to work. That's a fake Fiddle Flash.
I mean, the champ does have incredibly strong laning phase and quite good. Oh, early team fighting here.
He chasing on to Loopy. Loopy caught out. The Aegis Assault is decent, but it just does not matter.
And this, it's funny how I feel like both supports are kind of taking their turns, getting caught out. First it was Targamas in the early game, and now it's Loopy later on in the game. And oh, Targamas might be the one getting caught here. Has to flash.
Flashing back, Yike pushed away from Reeker. Follow-up is there. Targamas not going to be able to get involved, but Callist zooming over there with the strut. Step back, silence. Yike taking a bit more time, not quite going to be finished off. Callist still chasing. Vladdy wants to commit a bit more. Dash through, managed to connect the E. R2 ready to go. Dashing back out because here comes the Pantheon. Vladdy, probably a little bit over here. Will get taken out. Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Best time to make, some upsies, to get caught out. As Genex, that's a lot of CC.
Oh,
he's trying to summon the Herald to escape. He goes into the pool. The Herald is spawning. He's going to try to mount up, but he's feared. He's too afraid.
I mean, it's a valiant effort, but he's not able to get into the Herald in time. And gets picked off. I
can see how this champion is annoying, this Fiddlesticks champion.
Yeah.
He just is like, shut up, run away.
Yeah, he didn't really, we didn't really get to see the oppressive laning that, in my opinion, this champion has, but we're still seeing, even later on in the game, it's not like the champion scales bad.
Yeah.
You have a great point-to-click CC.
Loopy has support from the team. Mid lane tower did break in the midst of that play.
Yeah.
But Otacon is falling, and it's extra life Otacon, which is great for Fiddlesticks.
Yeah. They're going to be able to siege this tier 2 bot as well. They'll be able to take that. Genex cannot defend. And SK are able to get this tier 1. Oh, they might not even be able to get this tier 1 top. Vladdy goes in.
E2 marked, pushback good. Knocks him out of the trap. He's just barely able to get around the side. He should die. He's withdrawing. Okay.
Vladdy is limit testing a little bit. I feel like going in some of these plays, going in 2v4.
Yeah.
But it is going to be a false life. 200 gold. Not too big of a deal. Still going to be able to catch that top wave. And he defended the tower for much longer, which does mean that Callist and Kana are able to take up this tier 2 mid, and Kadui might be caught.
Kadui is definitely caught. Here comes the Fiddlesticks. Won't get the fear, but it's just zooming in for a bit extra damage. Silence there. Twist on the way. But Yike will still take the kill.
It's very difficult. I do think they have the...
Genex in trouble.
Oh, Genex. Oh.
Vladdy versus Vladimir. Who wins? Are the extra letters enough for Genex? The answer is absolutely not.
The problem is that we're trying to think of a comeback for SK, and as soon as we can't think of something else goes wrong to make the game even harder.
Yep.
In the span
Hold
of the
on to this Sun Disc, knowing it's all that's keeping him alive. Where's he going to go? Tries to sidestep. Decent pushback. Fleeing. Silence. Almost 0 health, but not quite 0 health. Yike about to get taken out. But he's just withdrawing. He's just withdrawing. There's 200 gold. And now he comes Vladdy across the entire map. Oh. All right, Naruto, get in there. He's dashing. He's dashing in. He's dashing out. That's the Hokage right SK trying to get some kills back. GenX not too bad of a spot. The pool is big. They don't have enough damage to finish him, but the silence! Oh my god, this champion is so annoying!
Ease backwards to get the E in the shroud, and then ultis forward, instantly ease backward to be fine. Wow.
First into Kana. Targamas crucially spotted, as is Vladdy, but Loopy's just going to give a slice. There's no recourse there for SK. They did mark the flank of both Vladdy and Targamas, but no one could step up to cover for Loopy.
It's so hard for SK to properly face check now. It's KC might. Targamas is ulting in.
Targamas. Kana. Going in, but he just turned mini. It's a little bit awkward. They've gone over the wall into Kadui, but it's just enough. Cliff ulting over the wall, getting good damage down. GenX is now the one running. Vladdy trying to follow up a heroic ulti to come out from Reeker, but it's just too late.
And they have TPs on Vladdy. It's the 4 people down for the side of SK. They can try to end this here. Loopy has spawned, and Bukata's trying to clear the wave.
I mean, it was a 27-minute game 1. They want to make it the same in game 2, despite a vast difference in early game. Kana's still stepping up.
They only have 2 minions. I don't think they can actually end here. They're going to think the better of it and look to get double inhib. Might even be a triple inhib angle, as the top wave is crashing as well.
Bit risky to stay for 3, but no, they still have 15 seconds on Reeker.
Yeah, long death timers.
There are some wards and TPs are there.
Here. There's going to be triple inhib. So despite the game not literally ending, it might be metaphorically ending. With triple inhibitor, they do only have 2 inhibs, but they're definitely going to be able to take this topside inhibitor with this Nash. And you have to feel that the game will
outfought them, and then they continued to fall further and further behind as KC found a ton of these good picks. Targamas standing still, looking to set up for the ult, just out of vision. Crucially, Kadui might be in trouble, but Targamas walking back into vision, will not get the fear.
Reeker able to get some damage onto Vladdy,
trying to hide behind the little stubby part so he can get the fear.
I don't know.
It would appear so. Vladdy locked up, poked, but third and him's going to fall, and Kana's still pushing in the meantime.
Yeah.
They're so grouped up for a Meganar. Finds 2. Loopy trying to follow. GenX big ulti, but a response ulti coming in the meantime. Bukata getting cut down as well, and once again GenX is just burnt by CC. But Vladimir not allowed to play the game. And KC looking to close this one out quick.
It's a beautiful game, a beautiful series from KC as they cement themselves as a more consistent top team. They will not lose to SK as some of our other top LEC teams have.
No, they certainly will not. SK taken out. Early game was good, but in the end, KC was better. And every